Hey there, it's Arielle the Artsy Intuitive. I'm finally on here. As you can see, I'm all decorated. I just felt like getting into my Venus aspect, the Venetians, and just that goddess energy and get out of that like stagnant kind of low energy I was feeling the last few days, I would say. Lots of shadow like purging, and not even purging really, because I'm a Blu-ray transmuter and I transmute my own energies, collective energies. But lots of shadow work kind of going on, even it's not even intentional. It's just been coming up, and yeah, the moonlight, whatever was stuck in the mud is being called into the light. And so when I was in that energy last night, I really just felt, I think yesterday, I literally just was in bed all day. Have kind of had the sniffles and been doing some readings, as you've seen, some readings that I'm not on camera, and I just thought of like quick messages, and it's the same messages, and yeah, just a lot going on. Isn't one? Okay, never mind. So let's just see what happens. It's kind of like, let's just see what happens energy. What decks I want to use. Feeling called to use a Sacred Rebels deck. Whew. So I posted some of this on my Instagram about the shadow self and Carl Jung. I really like Carl Jung. Looking at those hidden aspects of ourselves, making the unconscious come to the conscious mind, and especially with the twin flame journey, it's just like it really brings you to so many different levels, I guess, as you could say. Once you feel like you've mastered something, and there's something else. And we are in Gemini season, the twins. So let's just come into the space and let's smudge the energies, and yeah. So let's just see what comes out. Okay. It's been rainy. It's been cold here. Yep. So if you're feeling any of this, just know that you are not alone. Okay? You are not alone if you're feeling any type of wide range of emotions, physical, emotional purging, or things that need to be released. The shadow self parts of you, the things that are hidden. I really noticed that yesterday, just negative thoughts and the blame shame programming. I tried to explain this to my young daughter about, I really see that, especially with children. It's like that program was like already is so embedded in us that we really have to really pay attention to that whole, like, there's a wide variety of experiences and of emotions on this, in this human form and as a spirit. And, this feeling of like having to feel like shame and guilt and blame, especially for something so tiny, especially for something like that's very small. And like, I noticed that, like I would notice that with my daughter, like maybe she's saying something and she feels so bad, and it's just like, what is this? That is just like, what is this energy? Like, just let that go. Everything is an experience. There's a multitude, not even, what am I saying? you know what I'm saying. A wide range of things that we experience, but like to see it from a higher perspective, like it's okay. It's okay, you know, let go of that, the guilt, the shame, the blame. Which I really feel like this is a healing message. I don't necessarily feel like I need to tap into twin flame energies right now because, yeah, let's go for a collective. What is a collective? Let me move this. Already getting hot. What is a collective? I need to not need, but do we need to? What is the guidance? Yeah. What is the guidance here, Spirit? What is the guidance for the collective at this point in time? 4 cards coming out. Okay. We have Legacy of Light. I really desire to have a bigger table. You know, a camera. I'm using my PEC and yes, so that I can have more room. Big, bold vision. And isn't that interesting how I'm all, see how she's all dressed up? That's how I love to dress up and just adorn myself because I am a goddess. You are a goddess. Goddess. You know what I mean? Big, bold vision. This legacy of light. Let's try this. I did this a while ago. Let's see if this works. If this helps. Okay. Yeah. So we have big, bold vision, legacy of light, going beyond normal. This is exactly where we're being called. See how she's looking up? She's looking up at the light bulb. She's got this timer in the middle of her head. She has a key coming from her mouth. The words that you say, the thoughts that you think. Don't worry about being normal. It's such an illusion. We're here to break that. We're here to expand upon our truest selves. Going beyond normal. Okay, so I'm going to put that on this side. See, it's like, dun, dun, and Pandora's gift. Now, I'm not familiar. I would really like to read this message of Pandora's gift. I want to read that one first. Why don't you look at the number first? 45. Okay. There is a mythic woman, much maligned throughout history, whose name means all gifted. Pandora lives within us as our curious nature, yearning to conquer chaos, evil, and darkness with the light of knowledge. She is the hopeful voice of our soul that asks the questions, and in doing so triggers a process that brings the answers. Sometimes it is through uncomfortable learning that we find our treasure. Pandora reminds us that the process of learning can take us to places that seem like the end of the world, and yet all is not lost. Even now, the light within you is stirring for new revelation, new life, and new adventure. Pandora is all gifted and all giving. Her presence invites you to forego your belief and judgment. Wow, and that goes really well with this card, with going beyond normal. She frees the soul from such torment. Like it's, yes, okay. This is what I was just channeling, what I was just saying. Now is the time to surrender the misplaced guilt that you may have brought upon yourself or another, some terrible happening. It is time to let go of the shame-based belief in punishment. This is a belief that you deserve to be brought to task over any perceived imperfection, or that your natural human journey somehow renders you inadequate. I was just talking about that. Yes, this wasn't coming up. This inadequacy, the guilt, the shame, blame, game, programming, energy. So Pandora frees the soul from such torment. This is her gift. Wow. The human journey necessarily involves learning through experience. It's so cool. I was just talking about this. There is no shame in your learning process. There's no shame. And there's no guilt. There's none of that, because you are here to experience such variety, such things, right? So there is no shame in your learning process. Everybody has a different learning process, and their soul came here first with a specific thing and blueprint, and no judgment on those. Pandora's presence is a sign of a new time. A time to swap the notion of inherent shame for the acceptance of inherent divinity. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys. I'm hot. Woo! That's good. A time to swap the notion of inherent shame to inherent divinity. Yes, thank you. From this moment on, how unstoppable you shall become. Sacred rebellion is happening within your soul as a powerful uprising towards liberation. You are breaking free from the weighty criticisms of the world, from the power games that bore you senseless, and from the insanity of sacrilegious priorities in this world. Dare to disobey anything and everything that is not divine. Pandora is the leader of your soul revolution. She defies the vicious judgments of history and all that has been said about her. She shrugs off misery, despair, and the weight of the world to recognize that she is the bearer of the true and beautiful light of peace, comfort, hope, and reassurance. With her oracle comes the realization that you too are a divinely defiant believer in hope who shall cast off the works of anyone who seeks to torment you. As this shift takes place, you shall dare to look within your own being and find the light. You are being put on divine notice from the sacred feminine that there is a talent and ability within you that needs to be acknowledged. There is a worthy seed of something beautiful and necessary within you. If you choose to develop and express this seed step by step, it will become an extraordinary light in your life and in the world. So poke your tongue out at the naysayers. Oh my gosh, this little kid in my class I work, he does that. He was doing that and I was just like a little rebel. I like that. At the naysayers, and turn your attention to the bright hope within, that light within you. You were born to strut your soul stuff. Ooh, I like that. You were born to strut your soul stuff. Man, I wish I came up with that. I really like that. I knew I had to read that one first. So that's powerful. Pandora's gift, what I was just speaking about, that whole thing. So let's see what this is. Going beyond normal. I'm going to try not read the whole thing because these are lengthy. Okay, so on the path of life, there's deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream or we can dare to take a bolder. Yeah, so this is more of like a heart-centered, this is coming from our heart and our higher heart. Our soul, the soul vibration, the soul that lives in that. In the heart space, connecting through the third eye and crown. Because the lower chakras are more like, they're important. They're all important, but they connect to the earthly, physical realm, which is great. Okay, but like the heart space, been too much in the mind and in the head and thoughts and like blah 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 and condition and programming is just running. So just when it comes up, identify it and observe. Take a step back within yourself and be the observer. And so I'm going to read just a little bit. You are being asked to stay open to the intuitive approach in your life, your work, your creativity, your spiritual journey. You may have pressures around you from the world, from family, from whoever. But this, to the conditioned nature, this all conditioned patterns of how you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do, what you're da-da-da-da-da-da, like, to do things according to the rules, to a deadline, to accept the mainstream view, or whatever. So it says, however, sometimes the best plan is to do what feels intuitively truthful in the moment and to trust that you are being led towards your own growth. Okay, so this is really beautiful energy. Okay, so we've kind of gone into that energy, and turn this around, and then we have this sacred vision. Is a sacred vision or big bold vision? What vision does your soul want to bring towards you? And this legacy of light. This legacy of light, number 7. Okay, so that I'm gonna read briefly. Oh, so yeah, this is about the legacy of light. You are being asked to honor the legacy of light that is your sacred birthright. Take nourishment and support from those that have become before you, your ancestral lines, not only in blood but in spirit. Okay, so the oracle of the legacy of light comes to you when you need confirmation that a creative choice you are making or have made or soon will make is one that is in alignment with your sacred purpose and spiritual path of healing and growth. The legacy of light cannot be ignored without some detriment to your sense of well-being. Okay. So you are also acknowledged through this oracle as having some special creative and healing offering to make to the world in this lifetime. You will leave a legacy of light for the greater good upon this planet. So this is that. This big, bold vision. I'm not going to really read this because it's pretty self-explanatory. This big, bold vision. This thing's red. I don't know. I don't know about that. But this is very much about this Pandora's gift is to be that sacred rebel, is to allow the divine to work through you. Let's get some other cards. Spirit, can you clarify? Not really clarify, but give us a... Okay. Diving for light. Number 11. I'm feeling very connected to the water element right now. Diving for light. I want to read that one though. These are the kind of cards that you kind of have to read the description because they're so, they're so detailed in the cards. How brave you are! You are diving for light. It can be so much simpler to seek light in the heavenly in that which is blissful, sweet, loving, and kind. To look for the light in that which is dark is an advanced task that only a rebellious and brave heart will attempt. You may not feel that you have taken such a journey by choice, yet you have taken this wise challenge on from deep within your soul. Your innermost being has evoked this situation in your life with the intention that you grow in power, wisdom, and creative juice. It also wants you to experience a bold and fearless trust in life and become further empowered to live it with zest and courage. So the Oracle of Diving for Light speaks of a time when you are called into darkness through life circumstances, situations, relationship challenges, or inner struggles that defy clear understanding. That darkness might be a creative block, a sense of being in a void, or feelings of depression, rage, sadness, fear, and anxiety. Like all of that right there, sometimes we feel like especially if there's like a wave coming, a wave of energy that we're experiencing, can feel all of that. And went through that yesterday, the last 2 days. But then it's not like I'm there all the time, but I look at it through the eyes of love as much as I can. Self-love for myself, realizing that I'm a sacred rebel. Like, and we're all in this together. That's all I gotta say. Okay, so let me get more. Okay. When diving for light, one must be willing to bear the darkness and understand that it has a purpose. Yes, okay. I said this to my shadow self yesterday. I see that you have a purpose. You're just sending it love. I see that you have a purpose. I understand that there's a reason, there's a purpose behind this energy, this shadow self, and I understand. It's okay. I got this. Like, I love you. Okay. Much like winter does upon the earth, it is not an error or through lack of consciousness that you are here now. It is a testament to your spiritual growth and creative process, not a sign that they are lacking or stalling. Thank you. Yes, the healing process below will help you with your inward plunging and to successfully navigate it. Okay. This oracle brings particular guidance that although you are powerful, you are also very vulnerable at this time. You need to be alert. You need to be alert to sabotage and criticism that may make your progress more difficult than it already is. Like, not adding to it and being aware of the unnecessary, because it says that would be rather unnecessary. At least some of the people around you might be more attached to their fear and doubt than to their faith in your process and the ways of your creative, rebellious spiritual path that asks us to trust unconditionally. They may be frightened due to a lack of understanding. A lot of it is, other people not understanding because they don't, or their fear of it because they don't understand it. And it's something that you experience yourself. Like, I'm generally speaking here. Okay. You don't need to carry their fear for them. Repeat. You don't need to carry their fear for them. You have your own process to attend to, and they can choose to be inspired by your journey or frightened by it. Oh my gosh, what a powerful message. They are free to respond as they wish, and whatever those responses are, they're part of their journey for them to work through. You also need to be vigilant against the darker forces within you. These are the voices that you may not expect, particularly if you are a pure-hearted being who typically resonates with love. Okay? These voices or feelings might surprise you with their dark intensity. Yes. They may be feelings of hate, terror, or wanting only to sleep because anything further is all just too hard. They may contain vicious criticism of yourself or tell you that your inner creative work is pointless, unoriginal, not worth it, or stupid. These dark forces might try to tell you that you are on the wrong path, suggest that you will fail, or ask with great condescension, who the hell do you think you are? Right? Like, you must stay in your heart and not believe these dark forces. Stay in compassion. Fear creates the energy of anger, hate, and destructiveness. These forces are a part of life. But we don't have to be frightened of them, nor do we need to deny their existence. Right, okay. So it's working with it, not denying it, not pushing it aside. But it's just part of life. So we don't need to ignore them in order to find the light in the darkness, is what it's saying. We just need to hold compassion and to be intelligently aware so we can avoid being seduced into the trap of needing to prove ourselves. That's a big one too. I find myself in that energy, like, what? Huh? Like, why do I feel like I need to prove myself? Like, no. Okay. Or into the mistaken belief that we need to fight against darkness. It is too easy to get caught up in trying to heal the dark. Darkness just is. Okay? Recognize it when it is there and be in your compassionate heart. All you need to do is make a choice. Will you stay in your heart, or will you be seduced by darkness and overcome by hate or sleepiness? Like sleepiness, like, not like you're sleepy, but like choosing to stay unawoken. Diving for light is a spiritual test. I'm telling you, everybody will go through this, okay? And it's not like one time, that's it. Especially the more that you just keep vibrating higher and higher, there's going to be others who are trying to like bring you down, and you just, cards are sticking to me. Okay, this got to keep on going. Staying aware of it, having compassion in your heart. It is what it is, like, and let's keep moving in our consciousness. Okay. We successfully navigate our way through this test and pass through the threshold into new creative birth by staying connected to the light of compassion in our own hearts. It is not an easy test, but it is one that you must be ready for. Otherwise, it wouldn't be coming to you now. Just remember, it is the light of the heart that sustains. It exists within us always, even in the darkest depths of unknown terrain. Okay. Let's read this healing process. I'm going to read this. I call upon the presence of unconditional love. Be here now without restraint. Fill me and fill this space. Touch all beings within your grace. I feel the presence of unconditional love within me. I acknowledge the presence of unconditional love all around me. I am the presence of unconditional love, and in this love, no fear can remain. May unconditional love guide any fear back to the light of love or back into the earth as serves the greatest good. My body, mind, and heart and soul are now completely bathed in and protected by unconditional love. Through my own free will, this is so. Ooh, I like this. You may feel some reactions to this work. Fear, anger, or irritation may come up. You may feel an overwhelmingly need to go and do something that doesn't actually seem that important once you start doing it and could have waited 5 more minutes. You may feel, okay, so it's talking about this spiritual healing process and what you might experience. So this is a lot about the healing process. I think I'm going to end the video now so I'm going to try and do more videos today. I'm really feeling like I need to get some messages out there. But this is really a message of, like I say, recognizing this part of this healing process of diving for light, and the blame, shame, guilt, all those programmings is not the truth of who you are, but it is a process of being in this body and on this earth right now, because like, how do we learn? We learn through experience, and do we need to put like blame and shame and all that? Is it necessary, or can you have self-compassion and an understanding that is all part of the process, and to love all parts of yourself? Okay? Okay. Let me pick an animal card to end the reading. Whoa. Wow, the sea serpent. Sea serpent seems to come up a lot. I think that is the sacral. Yeah. So this is the second chakra. Yeah, this is the second chakra. This really goes well with this, because this is healing emotional wounds and expressing desires. So that's a sacral chakra, that like the sexual organs and stuff like that, and that creativity flowing. So The sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotion, creativity, sensuality, or desire. So it helps us to go into this healthy current and move through things and emotions. Sometimes it gets stagnant in other areas. It's important to remember no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She's supportive and loving. So that how beautiful of to end this reading is the sea serpent and expressing yourself and healing any emotional wounds within yourself. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and end this one, and I'm going to try and do some other readings, okay? Talk to you guys later. Bye.